Hello, this is part 9 of Captured in the Psych Ward. I hope you enjoy. Ron was having a great time with his grandson. He went to Phillip Island to see the fairy penguins, and he also went to Melbourne Zoo and also having a lot of fun with Dan's son Bill from Danielle. And Ron was having a lot of fun as well. But as he will soon know that the HDU is changing. The only two remaining members are Pete and Paddy Rowe, because the others were released and a few went to the IVU. That was Robert, because he had a few outbursts. And when Billy's dad, David, came to pick him up, Ron thanked him for letting him spend some time with his grandkids. And then Ron had one more sleep to go. He went back to work, so he treated himself to a gamble at the casino. And man, Ron, who hardly goes to the casino at all, won $12,000. And he went home loaded. And he was ever so happy and bought himself a 2-litre bottle of Coke, glug, 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 to relax and watch TV. And the show he watched was Parenthood, because his favourite Happy Days character was Richie Cunningham, and he looked like a real bloody drongo. And he was drinking his Coca-Cola, and it made him tired. And again he fell asleep on the couch and woke up at 6 a.m. and got himself ready for work, shower and shave, and breakfast. And then he went for a coffee at the cafe, where Fran and Dan worked, and he ordered a cappuccino and a vanilla slice, and then went to the hospital to clock in, and went into the HDU, and the staff said that Paddy Rowe and Pete were the only two there, and Ron did his rounds, delivering the medication, and as he started to bring the medication, the security guards were bringing this man in, who had a psycho episode when he threw all his belongings outside the house, saying the most stupid delusions of all time. Thinking that all the men's kids in the old days were waiting for him in Party Town up in the sky, and his last voice, which was just in his head, was, "We are going to have plenty of fun with music and parties and alcohol and power for you, man, tonight. You're a gas man. Okay." And the neighbours at first tried to calm him down, and then this was weird. So they called the cops, and they took this man away, even if he wanted to go to Party Town, and he screamed out, "I want to go to Party Town!" But the police officers just ignored the crazy person in the back, ready to let this crazy person think he is in his imaginary world. And I am sure this dude is trying to get into the real world, and the police officer said, "How about we send him to Ron Cooper in the psych ward? You see, Ron will put him right." Anyway, he made it, and Ron sat down trying to understand what went on in his life. "Why do you think there was a Party Town?" And this bloke said, First of all, my name is Charlie Chaplin. You know, good old blimey Charlie. And Charlie Chaplin is my last name. Chaplin is my last name." And Ron said, "He is dead. What is your job?" And Charlie said, "I work at Broadway in New York. Every night I sang Broadway songs. And I was brilliant in silent movies." And Ron said, "Well, old blimey Charlie Chaplin, we will keep here till you realize that what you did was against the law. There is nothing wrong with believing your Charlie Chaplin. That is fine. But we are going to keep you here till we see the medication we put you on does what we want for for the real you. Charlie had games with Paddy, Rowe and Pete, and they also argued with the doctors and nurses, saying, "You fucking stupid cunt. Why don't you get me out? You see, all my mates were waiting for me at Party Town. I don't want to be in here. This sounds so uncool, mate. Let me go. I want to go to fucking Party Town. I want to go right now." And the nurses brought out the lunch, and Pete and Paddy and Charlie went to the table, and Charlie said, "Why the fuck are you stealing my lunch, Paddy Rowe?" And Paddy Rowe said, "I haven't touched your fucking bloody lunch. I wouldn't touch your fucking lunch. So why don't you piss off, you fucking cunt?" And then through the door came a ghost from Charlie's past. To Charlie, "And I am sorry I bullied you as a kid. And I am sorry, because the truth is, I hated what they did to us back then. But we have to move on. Do you know why you were saying you are Charlie Chaplin? Because if this is just a delusion, shut up, Turk. Because I liked Charlie Chaplin. Because he started a future in all of your bogies. So, buddy, I had to steal from you so you can think that your family prefer the rich life." And Charlie said, "But you do too. You see, I want to go to Party Town because my folks want me to be a medical person." And Ron said, why don't all of you please shut the fucking hell up? Why don't all you shut the fucking hell up? Fuck off, you cunt." And Charlie went over to watch TV. And this young 16-year-old girl started picking on him. And Charlie said, "Why don't you fuck off, you fucking stupid little cunt? You are a stupid little baby." And the girl said, "I am not a baby. I am a girl who arrested for disturbing the peace. And it looks like you want to help us. But I want to get a fork and slash your wrists. Because you see, you blimey Charlie Chaplin, I want to kill you. And I want to do it too bloody right." And Charlie said, "Hey, little teenager, I want to kill you tonight. You will suffer. You suffer, you shall." And Ron went over to Charlie, and, "Well, old blimey Charlie, old pal, this gal is bad news. And you need to speak to her and say, 'Stop.' And you know that, but she ain't playing." But Charlie told Ron that this girl needs the type of loving that she should get, because only nerds say things like, "I can't expect a free ride." But still, be careful, old Charles. Hey. And then Ron clocked off and went into the cafe and had a coffee and said to Fran, "How was your day?" And Fran said, "It was great. We made a lot of money in tips." "And how was your day, Ron?" "I met Charlie Chaplin, and I tried to reform him as well, saying, if you want to cope with the modern world, Charlie, you need to stand up for yourself, even if you do like them and care for their welfare." And I feel for him, but he needs to understand the psych ward isn't the place for people like him. And Dan said, "What did Charlie do or say?" And Ron said, he threw all his belongings out of the balcony in his unit, and he needs a lot of support. And he needs strong medication. And Ron went to the fish and chip shop afterwards and bought fish and chips and watched TV all night. And again, fell asleep on the couch. It seems to be a custom lately for Ron Cooper to fall asleep in front of the couch. Okay, bye.